Question 301. To check your parking brake, you should. Answers. A. Find a hill and put the brake on facing downhill. B. Put the brake on and push the cab from the outside. C. Apply the parking brake from a stop. Gently pull against it in low gear. D. Speed up to 10 miles per hour then pull on the lever. The correct answer is C. Explanation. Advancing at slow speed and then putting on the parking brake should give you sufficient indication that the brake is biting. Question 302. Which of these is optional but should always be used when available? Answers. A. Your warning flashers. B. A helper. C. Your mirrors. D. Rear view cameras. The correct answer is B. Explanation. A human helper is very desirable when backing up. They can see all the blind spots you can't. They can also keep other people out of the way. Make sure you agree on a clear and simple system of hand signals before beginning. Question 303. In what situation should you check your mirrors most often? Answers. A. Lane changes, merges, turns, and tight maneuvers. B. Driving on a single-lane road. C. Driving on a narrow road. D. Driving on a 3-lane highway. The correct answer is A. Explanation. Check your mirrors more often when it's likely you might run into a problem to your sides. Question 304. What identifies a driver suffering from road rage as opposed to aggressive driving? Answers. A. Excessive speed. B. Reckless lane switching. C. Deliberate criminal behavior. D. Excessive use of horn. The correct answer is C. Explanation. Road rage is using a motor vehicle with intent to commit harm or behaving with violence toward another road user. It should be reported to the police if possible. Question 305. In a 30-foot vehicle, how much space should you leave between yourself and the vehicle in front at 55 miles per hour? Answers. A. 2 seconds. B. 3 seconds. C. 1 second. D. 4 seconds. The correct answer is D. Explanation. As a rule of thumb, you should leave a second for every 10 feet of your vehicle, then add an extra second if you are going more than 40 miles an hour. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 306. What is the distance it will take to stop in good conditions once you brake? Answers. A. Reaction distance. B. Braking distance. C. Perception distance. D. Stopping distance. The correct answer is B. Explanation. The braking distance is the distance from first application of the brake pedal to a stop. Remember, it is only one component of your entire stopping distance. Perception and reaction distance come before, so factor them in. Question 307. What is your perception distance? Answers. A. The distance between seeing and recognize the existence of a hazard. B. The distance between seeing a hazard and applying the brakes. C. The distance between applying the brakes and coming to a stop. D. The distance between seeing a hazard and coming to a stop. The correct answer is A. Explanation. Your stopping distance is made up of perception, reaction and braking distances. The perception distance is the distance it takes to see the hazard and recognize it as one. Question 308. You must notify New York DMV of any traffic violations of which you are convicted in any other jurisdiction apart from. Answers. A. Reckless driving violations. B. Parking violations. C. Railroad crossing regulation violations. D. Speeding violations. The correct answer is B. Explanation. All traffic violations apart from parking violations must be reported. This applies no matter whether you were driving a CMV or your personal vehicle, even if it's only a motorcycle. Question 309. Your pedals should be checked for. Answers. A. Sticking. B. Looseness. C. Improper setting. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Your pedals are absolutely essential. Make sure they are working correctly and that there is no chance of them slipping at crucial moments. Question 310. Someone's tailgating you and obviously eager to pass. When there's space in front for them to do so, should you? Answers. A. Avoid tricks, drive safely. B. Flash your turn signals to show they can pass. C. Wave them through from your window. D. Sound your horn to show they can pass. The correct answer is A. Explanation. Don't wave others through. Let them make their minds up. If you wave someone through and an accident occurs, you could be liable for damages. Question 311. Which of these is not regarded as a serious traffic violation? Answers. A. Using a handheld cell phone or texting device. B. Sounding your horn in a prohibited area. C. Making improper or erratic lane changes. D. Driving at 15 miles an hour or more above the posted limit. The correct answer is B. Explanation. All of the offenses apart from sounding your horn in a prohibited area are regarded as serious. If you are cited for any two of these offenses within a 3-year period, you will be disqualified for a minimum of 60 days. Question 312. If your vehicle is ordered out of service by a federal or state inspector, what is the penalty for driving without rectifying the flaws they have identified? Answers. A. At least 90-day suspension. B. Report to DMV. C. $100 fine. D. Endorsement on your license. The correct answer is A. Explanation. A federal or state inspector will only order your vehicle out of service if there is something seriously wrong which could endanger you or other road users. You must take it seriously and have it fixed. The penalty for ignoring such an order is severe. Question 313. On packed snow, you should cut your speed by at least. Answers. A. Half. B. 10%. C. A quarter. D. A. Third. The correct answer is A. Explanation: packed snow immediately demands at least a 50% reduction in speed. Any other adverse conditions, poor visibility etc., should make you cut your speed even more, and ice should make you consider stopping altogether. Question 314. What is the distance between you recognizing a hazard and beginning to break cold? Answers: A. Braking distance. B. Perception distance. C. Reaction distance. D. Stopping distance. The correct answer is C. Explanation: your reaction distance is the time between spotting a hazard and taking action. You can cut it down by being continually alert and ready to act. Question 315. To obtain a New York CDL, you must be. Answers: A. Employed in New York State. B. The holder of a CDL from another state. C. None of the above. D. Resident in New York State. The correct answer is D. Explanation: only New York State residents may be granted a CDL. Furthermore, you may not hold a CDL from any other state at the same time as holding a New York CDL. Question 316. Your low air pressure light comes on for 10 miles but then goes off again. What should you do? Answers: A. Investigate at earliest opportunity. B. Assume it's a faulty warning light. C. Mention it to mechanics at the end of the trip. D. Make a note of it in your log. The correct answer is A. Explanation: never ignore your warning lights. Just because one comes on and then goes off, don't assume it's faulty. Faults may be intermittent and, if not investigated next time they appear, they may be more serious. Question 317. In heavy traffic, what's your safest speed? Answers: A. Speed of traffic, up to the posted limit. B. The posted limit. C. Slower than the rest of the traffic. D. Below the posted limit. The correct answer is A. Explanation: as long as the rest of the traffic is not exceeding the speed limit, staying at the same speed gives you the best chance of being able to maneuver and react safely. Question 318. What color should your front turning signals be? Answers: A. Any of the above. B. Red. C. Amber or white. D. Clear. The correct answer is C. Explanation: front turn signals must be either amber or white. Question 319. If your tires are running hot, which of these should you not do? Answers: A. Stop to let them cool down. B. Check what the cause might be. C. Immediately let some air out to return them to correct pressure. D. Once cooled, make another stop soon after to recheck. The correct answer is C. Explanation: always let your tires cool down to a proper temperature. You should be able to touch them with a bare hand. Never let air out of them when they are hot, as their pressure will drop as they cool, and you will end up with below pressure tires. Question 320. If your load exceeds the width or length of your trailer, which of these is the only thing it's not compulsory for you to have? Answers: A. A long enough tarpaulin to cover the whole load. B. Additional wide long load signs. C. Additional permits for the load. D. Warning flags and/or additional lights on the load. The correct answer is A. Explanation: extra wide or long loads need additional permits, signs and warnings. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 321. Under what circumstances are you committed to haul hazardous materials without a hazmat endorsement on your license? Answers: A. None of the above. B. If just backing into the street to realign a vehicle. C. If regular hazmat driver falls sick. D. If only hauling across town. The correct answer is A. Explanation: not only would you be in transgression of your license terms, if you do this, you could be putting yourself in serious danger as you would not be qualified to deal with an emergency situation. Question 322. What should you look out for when inspecting your windshield? Answers: A. Cracks. B. Illegal stickers. C. Cleanliness. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation: your windshield is your window on the road. It must be spotlessly clean. Clean it yourself if necessary. Any cracks are unacceptable. They could grow over the course of your journey to become a major hazard. Take off any stickers that in any way obscure your view. Question 323. What is a particular danger associated with transporting livestock? Answers: A. They can change the vehicle's center of gravity. B. The smell can be distracting. C. They can try to escape. D. Their noise may be distracting. The correct answer is A. Explanation: animals will move around unless the container is full or partitioned and lean during turns, making tip over more likely. Question 324. In very hot weather, you see tar bleeding through the pavement. What effect might this have? Answers: A. It might get in your engine. B. It will slow you down. C. It makes the road more slippery. D. It might spatter on your windshield. The correct answer is C. Explanation: you would assume that tar is sticky, but in fact in this situation it can become extremely slippery. Avoid patches where possible and be ready to counteract a skid. Question 325. What is a pull-up? Answers: A. A braking maneuver when stopping. B. Moving forward when backing. C. Stopping for a railroad crossing. D. Coasting to a halt at the curb. The correct answer is B. Explanation: a pull-up is a forward maneuver when backing. Go forward as many times as necessary to ensure that your vehicle is correctly aligned for your backing maneuver. Question 326. In the event of a brake failure, which of these measures will not help you? Answers: A. Pumping the brake pedal. B. Applying the parking brake. C. Changing into a lower gear. D. Weaving from side to side to slow down. The correct answer is D. Explanation: weaving won't have a significant effect and could put you in danger. Changing to a lower gear will allow you to use engine braking. Pumping the brake pedal may create enough pressure in the hydraulic system to get the brakes working again, and as a last resort you can apply the parking brake as an emergency stopping measure. Question 327. The best way to stop a vehicle without ABS in an emergency is? Answers: A. Repeatedly pump the brakes. B. Use the brakes as lightly as possible. C. Get on the brakes as hard as possible and stay on them. D. Apply medium pressure to the brakes and keep it there. The correct answer is A. Explanation: pumping the brakes is the closest you can get to creating your own ABS. Apply the brake, then release it if you feel the wheels starting to skid. Once they are rolling again, reapply the brake. Question 328. Unless you're top-heavy or pulling multiple trailers, it's almost always faster to than come to a full stop. Answers: A. Go straight through the hazard. B. Downshift to low gear. C. Sound your horn. D. Steer clear. The correct answer is D. Explanation: steering is almost always faster than stopping. High loads and multiple trailers may flip if you turn too sharply. Question 329. If using a tarpaulin, what must you check? Answers: A. That it won't billow. B. That it won't be able to tear. C. That it's firmly secured. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation: covering for cargo is compulsory in some jurisdictions. You must make sure that there is no chance of your covering tearing, billowing, or pulling loose. This could lead to your mirrors being blocked and could also put other road users in danger. Question 330. If your vehicle has power steering, what must you ensure in your pre-trip external inspection? Answers: A. That there are no leaks from the hoses and pumps. B. That there's a sticker saying it's there. C. That there's a function light. D. That it turns with the engine off. The correct answer is A. Explanation: any leaks could compromise the power steering system, putting you and others in danger. Question 331. If your vehicle begins hydroplaning, what should you do? Answers: A. Weave with the steering to try and regain traction. B. Get on the brakes and stay on them. C. Accelerate to get through the water as quickly as possible. D. Push in the clutch. The correct answer is D. Explanation: when your vehicle hydroplanes, it is no longer in contact with the road, so any action you take apart from trying to stay on course is likely to make the situation worse. Question 332. Which of these is it most important that you check on your pre-trip inspection? Answers: A. Tire tread depth. B. Warning flashers. C. Windshield wipers. D. All of the above. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Every element of your pre-trip inspection is as important as every other. Neglecting just one component could put you in serious difficulties down the road. Question 333. What are the main reasons to cover your Class 4 or 5 hazmat cargo in an open truck? Answers. A. All of the above. B. To help aerodynamics and save fuel. C. It's flammable when wet. D. To hide the cargo and stop it being stolen. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You are required to cover Class 4 or 5 hazmat cargo with a fire and water-resistant tarp or completely enclose it. Question 334. If your vehicle is fitted with retarders, when should you not use them? Answers. A. When intending to immediately speed up again. B. When driving in traffic. C. When slowing down from high speed. D. In wet or icy conditions. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Retarders can be very helpful, but they cannot assess the road conditions like a human driver. You should not use them in conditions that require careful judgment when braking. Question 335. What is a header board? Answers. A. Another term for your dashboard. B. A slang term for a license plate. C. A safety device behind your head. D. Another term for the back door of the cargo compartment. The correct answer is C. Explanation. A header board is a board that goes at the back of the cab, ensuring that if the cargo slides forward it will not run through and into the driver. You should make sure that it is big enough and solid enough to block the weight of the cargo you are carrying. Question 336. What will happen if you have more than one license? Answers. A. You will be fined minimum $500 for first offense. B. You will be prepared. C. You will be fined minimum $250 for first offense. D. You will receive a warning for first offense. The correct answer is C. Explanation. You must surrender all other CDLs you possess once you receive a North Carolina CDL. You will receive a minimum $250 for a first offense. If you do not, and a second offense will bring a minimum $500 fine. Question 337. Which of the following will affect your ability to drive upon your very first conviction? Answers. A. All of the above. B. Being convicted of excessive speeding in your personal vehicle. C. Using your personal vehicle to commit a felony. D. Driving any vehicle while impaired. The correct answer is D. Explanation. Your ability to drive a CMV will be negatively affected if you use a CMV to commit a felony or you have 2 or more serious traffic violations, such as excessive speeding. However, drinking and driving will affect your livelihood as a CMV driver, whether in a personal vehicle or CMV. Question 338. How many days do you have to notify your employer of any conviction for a traffic violation, except parking, in the state of North Carolina? Answers. A. 15 days. B. 10 days. C. 45 days. D. 30 days. The correct answer is D. Explanation: you must notify your employer of a conviction for any traffic violation within 30 days of said conviction. You must also notify your employer regardless of whether the violation occurred in your CMV or your personal vehicle. Question 339. If you have a positive drug test, who must your employer report it to, according to the Positive Drug and Alcohol Reporting Law? Answers: A. North Carolina State Highway Patrol. B. Division of Motor Vehicles. C. Police officer. D. Any other employers you have. The correct answer is B. Explanation: when it comes to driving CMVs, your employer cannot turn a blind eye if you say you just used illegal substances one time in the state of North Carolina with the Positive Drug and Alcohol Reporting Law. They must report your positive drug test to the Division of Motor Vehicles. However, you may be able to drive a CMV again after the completion of successful treatment. Question 340. What is the maximum height for a vehicle in North Dakota before it will be classified as an oversized load? Answers: A. 20 feet. B. 18 feet. C. 15 feet. D. 14 feet. The correct answer is D. Explanation: in North Dakota, the maximum height for a commercial vehicle is 14 feet. If your vehicle is taller, then you will have to follow the requirements for an overheight load, requiring a special permit and signage, as well as a possible escort. CDL test. Master your CDL exam in no time. Download now. Question 341. Which of these is unacceptable on a wheel rim? Answers: A. Missing clamps. B. Welding repairs. C. All of the above. D. Bent lock rings. The correct answer is C. Explanation: when the lock rings, clamps, spacers, or wheel nuts are damaged or missing on your rims, replace them. Likewise, if damage is severe enough to require welding, replace the rims. Question 342. Why should you always carry out your vehicle inspection in the same order? Answers: A. Because that will make things faster. B. Because that will make it less likely you'll forget something. C. Because that's the order it's written in the manual. D. Because it's the law. The correct answer is B. Explanation: get into a set routine, and it's unlikely that you'll forget anything. Question 343. You hear a noise which sounds like a tire blowout. However, neither your handling nor ride height seem affected. What should you do? Answers: A. Stop and check anyway. B. Make a mental note to check at the next stop. C. Carry on as normal. D. Inspect your tires with your mirrors. The correct answer is A. Explanation: if you blow a dual tire, you may not necessarily notice a difference in handling immediately. However, the long-term effects of leaving a blown tire may be catastrophic. A minute to get out and check if you have any suspicions could save your life. Question 344. Which of these is a symptom of road rage? Answers: A. Using a vehicle to deliberately attempt to cause damage. B. Getting angry enough to use the horn. C. Driving over the speed limit. D. Driving aggressively. The correct answer is A. Explanation: while horn honking, aggressive road maneuvers and driving dangerously fast may all be aggressive driving, road rage refers to deliberately using a vehicle to cause damage or assaulting another road user. Question 345. You're setting off on a trip across a desert area in high summer. Which of these should you not neglect? Answers: A. Snow shovel. B. Snow chains. C. Extra blankets. D. Your antifreeze level. The correct answer is D. Explanation: strange as it may seem, antifreeze also helps the engine at very high temperatures. Make sure you check your levels before you start. Question 346. When you approach your vehicle for inspection, why should you look underneath it? Answers: A. To make sure there are no stray animals under there. B. To check for broken bottles. C. To check for any leaks. D. To measure your clearance. The correct answer is C. Explanation: examine the ground beneath the vehicle for any fresh gasoline, oil or other fluids that might indicate leakage. Question 347. Why is it so important to make sure there are no leaks in your exhaust systems? Answers: A. Because they can allow poisonous fumes into your cab. B. To avoid being charged with pollution violations. C. Because they will reduce fuel efficiency. D. Because they could obscure visibility. The correct answer is A. Explanation: broken exhaust systems can direct noxious gases into your cab which could kill by poisoning you or by rendering you unconscious and making you crash. Question 348. When should you make inspections of your vehicle and cargo on a trip? Answers: A. Before and after. B. During and after. C. Before and during. D. Before, during, and after. The correct answer is D. Explanation: it's in your interest to be continually aware of the state of your vehicle and cargo. Question 349. You need a CDL to drive any single vehicle with a gross weight exceeding? Answers: A. 26,001 pounds. B. 30,001 pounds. C. 20,001 pounds. D. 23,001 pounds. The correct answer is A. Explanation: any single vehicle weighing 26,001 or more pounds requires a commercial driver's license to drive. Question 350. Which of these things should you not do when stopping at the scene of an accident? Answers: A. Step into the road and direct traffic round the accident. B. Put on your warning flashers. C. Set out your warning triangles. D. Alert the emergency authorities where appropriate. The correct answer is A. Explanation: Take all steps to try and alert other traffic to any danger, but don't put yourself at risk by standing in their path.